everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Sanya Gupta. Today we have Lakshmi Narayanan ji, Senior VP and BFSI Industry Head with us. Lakshmi brings over 16 years of experience. So welcome Lakshmi and honor to have you here.
Hi, Sanya. Thank you very much. Looking forward to an exciting session with you.
Yeah, sure. So Lakshmi, before we start, just want to give a brief. So we'll be discussing about BFSI sector and how financial firms are using analytics, the challenges they face during the process, and some use cases in the industry.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. So are we ready, Lakshmi?
Yes, Sanya, we can go ahead.
Yeah. So let's start with this session. So over the years, technology has transformed the way customers interact in the BFSI sector, like that leads to change in the consumer behavior and also the expectations of the consumers. So one recent trend that all of us are seeing is at the adoption of data analytics. So Lakshmi, what do you think? How does financial firms use analytics for consumer insights?
Yes, Sanya. So, as you rightly mentioned, over the period of time, the data has become the new oil. Now it has become the new water also, without which the organizations cannot survive. That's how it has become. And I've always seen that the banks and the financial services institutions are really smart in the way they use data. So I still remember 12 years back when I got first exposed to kind of a consulting engagement with the bank. Uh, we understood clearly, like they were able to look at how the data can be captured in different forms and how they can be brought into one common platform, organized, and they were able to see some quick patterns. I mean, I'm talking about roughly 12 years back when people were not really worried about intelligence in the way. The more importance was given to organizing the data than about deriving intelligence from the data. So customer insights is one specific area where I've seen banks, BFSI clients heading a long way compared to other spaces. Like especially the way they segment the customers with the kind of behavioral attributes that have been captured about the customers, and the way they assess the risk associated with the customers, how they manage the risk within a bank. All these aspects are some good use cases of how financial services use data to solve the problem. And customer is just one part to it. Of course, with the kind of huge volume of transactions that these financial services institutions go through, they're able to look at processing it with better intelligence, and with the systems, with all the big data coming into picture, with AI, machine learning coming into picture, it's only getting into the advanced stages where risk assessments and intelligence from the data is becoming a smarter feature for many banks. In fact, I'm sure all you would have heard that digital banks are the new buzzword in the market. Already we have had digital currency now, and with digital banks becoming more popular, the data is going to be more important for all these banks. And of course, the efficiency of the banks can be improved with better utilization of the data.
Sure. Absolutely, Lakshmi. So, changing to involved environment and meeting customer expectations is really important nowadays. Moving ahead, I have another question. So, during the process of analytics adoption, what are the main challenges you face when it comes to collecting and analyzing data, and how do you address these challenges?
Okay, good. So this reminds me of my conversation with one of the insurance companies CIO I had. I mean, I just had a meeting a couple of hours back with one of the insurance CIOs, and we are discussing about the same topic, like what kind of challenges that exist, because they are trying to move away from the traditional architecture to the modern day architecture and try to move on to the cloud. So when we are discussing in that context, the obvious first problem that comes in is the data security. The financial services institutions always focus on the security of the data. Now, are the data centers available in India? Are the tools that are being used, like for example, certain visualization tools, they provide cloud versions, but the data centers are not available in India. These are some of the challenges that are there. So obviously, to address these challenges, the banking clients are looking at how they can encrypt, how they can identify service providers with data centers in India. So that's something which is there, and typically that's one important problem in the solution. The second one is the data quality. The data quality is usually a bigger problem with many clients, not just the BFSI clients. Across industry, it is a problem, which always leads to inaccurate, incomplete, or even inconsistent results. So the whole decision, if it's going to be relied on this data, if it is of poor quality, then obviously it's going to result in poor decision making. So lot of emphasis has been put on master data management, cleansing of the data, validating the data, verifying the data at different levels. And the next important point I would say is integration. Are you able to integrate data from different systems and are able to see a single source of truth? So creating warehouses, ensuring that one single view of customer, one single view of employee, and one single view of everything that you would like to see, are able to create it. This is the third problem that comes in as a big challenge for organizations when they try to take the analytics journey. Other than that, it's all about skills. Some privacy issues also come into picture on the way you utilize the data. But these are all the second set of issues that we would address the moment these top three challenges are addressed. That is data integration, data quality, and data security.
Right, Lakshmi. So overcoming challenges like data security, data integration with the smart decisions is a success factors for the firms. Moving
Yes.
ahead, as we go by using predictive analytics, firms use past data to make the informed decisions. So, how does your clients leverage predictive analytics to make informed decisions about the investment and risk management?
That's a good question, Sanya. So this has been a buzzword also, and but BFSI clients have been using statistical models for a pretty long time. Machine learning is something that they have been using it. Statisticians are always there to assist banks to find out the risk. Popular tools like SAS have always been used by the banks and financial service institutions to address these concerns. In fact, I would say that when it comes to investment management, the historical data plays a significant role to identify what would be the right investment opportunity for an individual and what would give better returns for a particular customer. So the whole analysis of the historical data and the current market trends can really help a BFSI customer to see some promising investment options and also recommend the right investment options for the customers. So predictive analytics can be a good factor here to identify potential risk and take some proactive measures also to mitigate them. And of course, investment is one side. So to address the second part, the risk management. Risk is always a bigger challenge. On one side, there is a strong regulatory compliance which the banks have to go through. And on the other side, they need to manage the risk to survive. With the kind of market situations with some banks crashing, considering the economic situation, risk management has become a very important topic every now and then, and banks always keep their focus on this. So predictive analytics can always help the clients to identify the potential risk and they also they assess the likelihood of occurrence. That's something which is easily manageable by the bank, especially the credit risk, the operational risk, the market risk. All these kinds of risk can be assessed easily with the help of the data that's collected. And of course, I need not tell this, fraud detection. That's the third important use case that generally banks use. This is one of the important risks that are being managed by the banks. So any kind of credit card fraud or insurance fraud or even money laundering that happens, the patterns can be easily recognized from the transactional data and anomalies can be indicated so that the banks can take quick actions. So with the data, the efficiency, the optimization of the procedures that happen in the banks have improved a lot in the last few years, and it's only a continuous process. I'm sure with more and more models coming into picture, with more adoption by the financial service institutions, this is only going to become a bigger space in the coming days.
Right, Lakshmi. Thank you for a detailed explanation. So, just to give more clarity to the discussion, could you please explain a recent project in your industry regarding the same?
Sure, definitely, Sanya. So maybe I'll take up this case of one of the investment banking companies where we are trying to provide some support on building a kind of an action-driven insight dashboard for them to help their investment bankers with the right data at their fingertips. So this came in as a kind of an initial requirement from the business technology managing director. This is one of the international clients based out of US. So even yesterday, when we had the steering committee with them, we were discussing about how we can make it better. The requirement was very simple. They just wanted the whole data to be organized in one simple data warehouse. And from there, they wanted to pull the data and ensure that the dashboards are getting created. Even though it may look like a simple one, in this particular with this particular client, the architecture was slightly complicated because the data was available in different systems, and of course, the integration was a bigger challenge. As I was mentioning it earlier, how to bring data from multiple systems, how to put them in one common place, how to find the synergies amongst the data points, what kind of relationships that exist, how those relationships can help us identify patterns. These are all some of the questions that we tried helping the client with. And over the last 3 to 4 months, by doing all these aspects for our client, we have come up with wonderful dashboards which are really appreciated by the investment managers who are the end users of this particular dashboard. It is helping them to look at how their portfolios are performing, what kind of focus areas that they need to have with respect to the portfolios, which one is performing better, which one is performing poorly, how they can actually even we have put some recommendations also depending on some parameters. So the dashboard is a success, and of course we do not stop there. I always tell this to my client. I will share that across with you also, Sanya. Change management is a bigger problem when it comes to these projects. The client rightly realized that the moment we completed the engagement, we work closely with the client with a strong change manager and a strong developer to support, where we as the team work closely with the client to deliver clinics, roadshows, and other things to take this to the larger audience and make more people adopt this solution. So instantly this became a hit, and we are continuously tracking the adoption metrics over a period of time to see whether the client's investment in this particular analytics solution is it good or bad. In fact, till now the indicators are giving a very positive sign about the investment. So that's the experience I would like to share with you, Sanya, here.
Okay, so to give a solution-driven approach, you require detailed research, and I must say you are doing a tremendous job in helping your clients with a great solution. So just a last question. So how do you define success of engagement in your industry, in BFSI industry?
Okay, so success, it is a very tough thing. For a partner like me, the success is different. For a client, the success is different. But one thing I've realized from my experience over the last 16 years is the client success is our success. So how do a client perceive an analytics engagement to be successful? He wants the end users to use the analytics solution. He wants the end users to adopt data-driven decision making as mindset, as culture, and also as a solution. Because at the end of the day, technology is there only to solve the problem. Analytics is there only to solve the problem with the help of data. So as a strategic partner for my clients, I would like to define the success of the engagement to be like how much people have adopted. Have they changed to the new solution? Have they changed their thought process to use data for decision making? Because these are the KPIs that would make my clients successful when they're adopting analytics. And I would like to make similar KPIs for myself to make my clients successful. So this is how I would define success for my engagements.
Okay, great, Lakshmi. So thank you, Lakshmi, for an insightful session.
Thank you, Sanya. Thanks a lot. Nice talking to you. Thank you.